What if I told you the most powerful bankers on earth don't touch money anymore? They move something far more valuable, you. Every scroll, every pause, every heartbeat tracked by your phone is a trade, a silent exchange between your attention and the machine that owns it. You think you're just checking messages, but somewhere, a piece of code is quietly adjusting the world around you. What you see, what you want, what you buy next. Welcome to Red Briefcase. Let's find out how this really works. Once upon a time, wealth was stored in gold, then in banks. Now, it's stored in behavior. You, your choices, your impulses, your desires, they've become the new asset class. See, algorithms don't just recommend what to watch. They manage what the world watches. They are the bankers of attention. And attention today is the single most profitable resource on the planet. When you stop on a post for 2 seconds, that pause isn't wasted time. It's yield. The algorithm loans that moment to advertisers who pay for a chance to borrow your curiosity. Every tap is a transaction. Every hesitation, a micro investment. And while you think you're consuming the feed is compounding you. Let's do the math. 1 billion people spend roughly 7 hours a day online. That's 7 billion hours of attention every 24 hours, equivalent to 800,000 years of human focus daily. That's the real global currency, not dollars, not crypto, concentration. And who controls its circulation? Not central banks, not stock markets. Just a few lines of code, running in servers colder than vaults, smarter than traders, faster than your next thought. The invisible bankers don't mint money. They mint behavioral liquidity. They decide what emotions trend, what news survives, what products explode. They don't hold power like kings. They hold it like oxygen, invisible but necessary. Ever wonder why outrage spreads faster than truth? Because anger compounds faster than calm. And compounding emotion, like compounding interest, makes someone very, very rich. But here's the part that should make you pause. Algorithms don't have intent. They don't want power or politics. They only want precision. They optimize what you react to until reacting becomes your reflex. They don't predict your future. They build it, one click at a time. And that's when the line between finance and psychology disappears. Markets used to trade in steel and oil. Now they trade in certainty. How predictable are you? How much will you pay to feel seen? That's your credit score in the new economy. We call it personalization. They call it risk management. Because when 1 billion minds move in patterns, the world stops being random. It becomes a spreadsheet. And someone, somewhere, is earning interest on your consistency. That's the quiet brilliance of the invisible bankers. They don't lend money. They lend momentum. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were truly bored? Completely still? Not scrolling? Not checking? Not just looking? Can't remember, right? That's not an accident. It's design. Because boredom used to belong to humans. Now it belongs to algorithms. They harvest it. They feed on every second you can't stand silence. You think you're escaping emptiness, but the system counts on that reflex. That's the most predictable thing in the world. A mind that can't sit still will always generate data. See, the algorithm doesn't care what you feel, only that you feel something. Anger, joy, envy, lust, all emotions spend the same. They're all currency. And just like banks convert deposits into loans, algorithms convert emotions into reach. Your reaction is their interest rate, your attention span, their bond market. We've built a civilization where emotion is the new equity and volatility pays dividends. When you realize that, it changes everything. Because markets don't just move stocks anymore, they move souls. But what about wealth? Where does the money actually go? To the ones who own the algorithms. The investors, the architects, the silent shareholders behind your screen. They're not trading oil or gold, they're trading human rhythm. They sell access to you like futures contracts, seconds, minutes, impulses, all bundled into ad space. And those transactions happen in real time, billions per day. A market where the product never sleeps because the product is us. Now tell me, if your attention is currency and the market trades it without your consent, what does that make you? A customer or collateral? But don't get me wrong, this isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Because the moment you see it, you regain leverage. You can't beat the algorithm, but you can bargain with it. You can choose what you feed it and what you starve. You can train your own data trail like a portfolio. Invest in ideas that compound instead of consume. That's the only rebellion left in a world that monetizes behavior. intentional attention. What does this all mean? It means we've entered a new kind of economy, one where wealth isn't stored in banks, but in bandwidth. Every moment you control becomes profit. Every moment you surrender becomes yield for someone else. That's the real divide now. Not rich versus poor, but aware versus automated. So here's my verdict. The invisible bankers won't take over the world. They already have. We just call it convenience. But power isn't evil. It's efficient. It goes wherever attention flows. And if you can learn to see it, you can learn to redirect it. That's what we're here for. This is Red Briefcase, where we study the systems that run beneath the surface, not to fear them, but to master them. If this opened your eyes, remember, awareness is compound interest, and the longer you hold it, the richer you get.